Briefly, before I speak, I'm going to invite Steve. Yes, I'm going to invite Steve for now. Steve, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. I would love to firstly thank everyone that has actually joined the call. This has been anticipated for quite a while. I hope my voice is audible enough because I'm speaking just in front of the camera, that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that I'm audible enough. Thank you guys for being part of this class. I'm very, very excited for the journey that we're taking. This is just a day one public. Literally going to be more of orientations and us literally sharing the entire mind overview of how we're going to be running and the mind behind 10x. I believe the communication has been literally very, very fast. Everything has been a bit fast for some of you guys. You have not known about the entire mind and concept behind this. So we're going to do two things. In fact, three. Basically, one, going to take us through. I'm going to share a few things, and I'll let other moderators, share some other things concerning what 10x is primarily, right? So, and after that, oh God, somebody don't give me a feedback of how my voice is. I'm just hoping I'm audible. So, if I'm audible, Chris.
Yes, you're audible from my side.
Oh, beautiful. Awesome. Wonderful. So I'm going to take us through the entire, I'm going to speak something concerning 10x and its existence and everything so that we all know that we are literally in the right place as creatives. And then I'll let other moderators share a few things here and there. And then I'll literally guide us through. I think I'll also share then concerning Mograph Marathon, what Mograph Marathon is, and why is it a marathon in the first place? I think we didn't literally share concerning that, the mind behind it being a marathon. And I will take us through concerning a few things that we have to do, concerning the entire course. How is it? How it's going to be? The effort you need to put in, because it's going to be you're going to be required to put in some effort. That I can tell you for the start. You're going to put in some effort, but it's going to be very, very wonderful. We're going to be doing both Photoshop. In fact, not necessarily Photoshop, but it's going to be more Photoshop. But we're going to be doing both design and animation. So we're going to be combining them together because just like I shared in the video, it's very hard, almost impossible. You can be too good at, having the keyframes moving and all that kind of stuff, but you may not be as good as to present the keyframes, all the pixels which are literally moving in the best way possible. So the visual presentation is very, very important. That's why we're going to learn a few basics of Photoshop. And perhaps as you're working with Illustrator is literally part of the entire, Adobe program, So there's a lot of dynamic linking that's going to be happening whereby you're going to be in a place of linking Photoshop to After Effects or linking Illustrator more so to After Effects to, put the stuff in motion. So a lot is going to be happening in line with motion graphics primarily. I think Chris will share more concerning that. And that's why we wanted to, do this Mograph marathon, like 2 weeks. It's going to be speedy. It's going to be, power-packed with a lot of stuff happening. And we wanted to have this literally come through so that by the time we start doing stuff like meeting up and all that kind of stuff, we can be very, very ready for us to work together. And it's going to be amazing. So guys, thank you for coming. Thank you for being a part of this. If some of your friends have not actually joined in, please take some time and invite them. It's going to be an amazing experience. So apparently, let me give the microphone back to Chris and to some other people who are going to share with us. After that, I will do a few presentations of what we're going to be doing from the start of the marathon to the end of it. Some of the expectations that you should be having from 10x, of course, those will be shared briefly before, and then the expectation that we're going to be having from the marathon and some of the things that are going to come up in the future time. So thank you guys for being a part of this. I'm very glad. And so let me give the microphone back to Chris and then some other speakers that will share with us something.
Okay. Thank you, Steve. First of all, I'm going to start with sharing with us the vision statement and the core values of 10X. Once again, I want to thank you guys for being here. For those that are just joining us, my name is Okech Christopher Anderson. I'm a motion designer and a video editor. I work with Video in Business and Wazo Dazo. First of all, I'm going to talk about why 10X. We envision the 10X tribe community has a limitless canvas where each creative soul is empowered to bring out your talent through motion graphics, through video editing, through still graphics, also photography somewhere. Yeah. At 10X, we want to bring up something new in Uganda that has not been here. We want to create a community that is full of thinkers, not only people who are waiting things that be with them, but we want to create thinkers from motion designers to graphics designers. We want to create a community where people are going to create work that is going to move globally, not only in Uganda or not only in Africa, but globally, work that is going to move places. One of our core values is creativity, unity, continuous learning, quality and excellence, innovation, respect, and also sharing knowledge. Before we brought up this, me and the team behind this, we sat down and we said, we have a lot of creatives in Uganda that are doing amazing work, and we need to create a platform that's going to bring out all the people that are outside there that are doing nice work that are not known. And we came up with this community, the 10X Motion Tribe. And this tribe is going to help us unite. It's going to help us know each other. It's going to help us learn together. We have beginners here. We have pros. We have intermediate people here. But 10X is going to help us know each other, help each other grow through whatever thing that you know, and also improve on your skills. We're going to be sharing job opportunities in the 10X community. Yeah. So for now, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to give a chance to one of the moderators. But before I give a chance to the moderators, I want to break down their names. We have Douglas Bagala, we have Gordon Mugisha, we have Labs Ivan, Stephen, and I. So I'm going to start with Gordon Mugisha. He's going to be sharing us with a few things and to tell us what he does and more. Yes, Gordon, you're welcome.
Good evening, everybody. I hope my audio is clear. Can you all hear me? Yes. Just like Chris said, my name is Gordon Mugisha. I am a still graphics designer, a logo designer, a graphics designer. I work with Simba Group, and I am very, very honored and proud to be part of this. I believe this is going to grow bigger than we expect. Now, most of what Chris has said is Bible truth about the 10X Motion Tribe. I'm just going to hint on just a few things that I want us to mark at the back of our minds as some of the things that we look up to as a community. One is going to be networking. For me, if I look at this right now, or even in a bigger picture, I see a lot of networking that we're going to be doing as a community of designers. Two is collaboration. We are going to find ourselves working on very many things as a community. Three is skill sharing. one of the aspects why, so one of the reasons why we're having this marathon, the Mograph marathon. We are going to have people share what they know, learn from them as we also learn from you. And the final thing is growth. If we do all these things that I've mentioned, growth is inevitable. We are going to see ourselves grow, our circles will grow, our networks will grow, our skills will grow, and that's what we all need. That's what I want, that's what you want, even if I asked you. So I just can't wait to see how this is going to go, how much this is going to grow. And I know for a fact that we are all going to enjoy our stay here. So please feel free. It's an open space for you. You can reach any of the people that you want to reach in the community. All doors are open to myself or to any of the moderators or to any of the members in the community. So it's a friendly space. It's a free space. Let's maximize on that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gordon. Allow me to invite Douglas.
Hello, guys. I am not... Okay, let me try to put my video on. I hope you can see me. I'm not in a very good place. Am I audible enough?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
All right. It's good to be here. Thank you, Gordon, for your submission. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Chris, for this. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, everyone who has joined this call. My name is Douglas Valaga. Chris called me Bagala. It's a common mistake. So I do graphics design. I'm not as good as Gordon. Gordon is the guru. But I do graphics design. I do motion graphics. Yeah, this day I can compete. I do video editing. I've worked with Chris on a number of projects. When I was still working with video in business. And I'm born again. I believe in God. I believe everything has to happen with God. If you're not for Jesus Christ, it's okay. We are all here in all our capacities, whatever we believe in. However, Jesus, you should think about Jesus. Now, when it comes to 10X, I'm very, 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 very confident that we are going very far with this. We are going to do very many big things. We are going to teach a lot of people. We are going to do a lot of projects together. We are going to learn from each other. We are going to correct each other. And if you participate with us, you're joining people who are understanding, people who know this business, people who are willing to teach, people who are also willing to learn from you, because we don't know everything. So when you have something you feel like, this one, we shall listen. We shall listen, we shall give each other feedback, and we are going to learn from each other. We are going to do great things together. This country has not yet seen 10X. We are coming. I'm so grateful for being here. Good to see you guys.
Thank you, Douglas. I'm going to invite Ivan to say something. Ivan, you're welcome.
I'm glad to be here. How are you guys? Hello, guys. What I can say, my name is Ivan Nubiai. I'm a 3D animator, motion graphic designer. We're the guys who they usually call us in motion. They usually call us the funny guys, the humor guys, the cartoon guys, the guys who have to sit down and think, create a character. So yeah, I'll be doing, that's what I'm going to be doing much here. Creating characters, modeling, 3D, to explore the 3D space too. Navigate through the 3D space. So that's what I do. I work with Plex Media Group. I'm also an animator at Manifest TV. Yeah, and when I sat down with Chris and I think Chris, and we're talking about how the creative space, mostly for the motion designers, has not been really explored in Uganda and maybe in Africa. Has not really been navigated. We have not networked so much. Some people usually call themselves motion designers, but really it's different. In an age whereby everyone now can edit a video using CapCut, edit a video using any software, we are losing motion designers. We are seeing more people. We are seeing more people doing what they call motion designing, and it's so sad that when you look to places like US, when you look at places like Switzerland and other places that are good in motion design in India, they are still following the true principles of motion designing. And come to Uganda, come to some places of Africa, where now TikTok, where we are fighting to trend, we are losing the true principle of design or motion design. I won't talk about the graphic designing and street designing because that's not my area of expertise. But we are losing the principles of motion design. We are doing more of let's do TikTok, let's do the TikTok design and CapCut design. I don't blame CapCut, it's okay, but yeah. So we came up and we're like, okay, let's do something to help motion designers network, but also to share knowledge and also to recognize motion design in Uganda, in Africa, to organize motion design to really discover, navigate through. People have talent, people are creative, but they need that time to support each other. So that's why we came up and we're like, okay, let's do this. We have been in this industry and we know most of how the dynamics work in the designing principles and what, and business side. So we were like, okay, let's first explore this now. Let's move. Let's make a statement in the motion design and let's impact the world. Yeah. So I'm glad to be here. I'm in my area of expertise is After Effects, Cinema 4D, Maya. So yeah, we are bringing more. We have too much for you people. So just you're in the right place. That's what we can tell you. You're in the right place, and we are going to work with each other. We are going to work with each other, and more so in networking. So yeah, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Ivan. Allow me to give back the microphone to Steve to take us through the Mograph marathon.
Thank you very much, guys, for sharing. Thank you very much for sharing. Before we go into the Mograph marathon, I'd just love to share something. Some little things. I think this will be shared kind of progressively as we move together towards this. But there are lots of things that are being envisioned along the way, and part of them is we're going to have more we're going to have physical classes where we shall literally meet together and challenge each other, and yeah, it's going to be very, very beautiful. I'd just love to, first of all, recognize every person that's literally here on the call. There's a friend of mine, in fact, from Nigeria. Apparently, I just saw him on the call. Apparently, is the name I'm still getting to remember. The name is called Priye Damie. Oh my goodness, Damiebi. Yeah, Dear Member Damiebi. I think there's sometime back. This is my friend on from X. He's from Nigeria, and sometime back, I think he did some sort of a challenge. On X. He's a wonderful gentleman. Yeah, thank you very much for being on the call. In fact, we have people from very many places. There's a certain lady called Arinda. I know that she's in the call, but she has to be in the call. She's from Kenya, and so we are just networking like globally, and a lot of things are really happening. So we're going to have, like, for those who are in Uganda, we're going to have some sort of physical classes in time to come. So all the preparations are still being made and that kind of stuff. So thank you for joining the tribe. Thank you for being a part of this. It's amazing. So just like how the rest of the shared, we are here. In fact, personally, I'm here to learn. I love learning more than even sharing knowledge, right? But the heart and mind behind probably sharing the knowledge is basically the fact that we have to acknowledge amidst us creatives that none of us is literally the competition of the other, right? Chris is not my competition. Enox is not my competition. Ivan is not my competition. In fact, nobody's my competition. I am my own competition. You are your own competition, So we just have to be working to become better than what they did before, right? So having acknowledged that, I literally have nothing like a resistance to share anything that I know, because I'm not competing with anybody, right? So I believe that conscience and mindset is very, very good to help us share to each other and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be learning a lot from you guys. So I want to encourage, a free roam kind of, involvement whereby you share with us what you know. So anyway, let's get right into the Mograph marathon. I think we should have had more, more conversation to do with the Tenex. But anyway, we shall keep on sharing progressively. So apparently in this orientation still the class ones are going to take us through almost everything that we need to know. What we're going to be doing from the first day one, which is today, which is the orientation and everything, up to probably the last day. And primarily in Photoshop, and then we shall share a few things later on to do with what we shall do in Illustrator, guide you through. Some people have been having a question like, how do I install the softwares on Telegram? I think I'll go to my text behind and literally take us through that. So just in case you guys didn't hear communication that we've been communicating, things have been a bit progressive. We want to encourage you guys to join the Telegram channel because it's going to, we're going to be sharing quite a lot of things, the jobs, the freebies, the few tutorials, this particular kind of recording that we're having right now, we should be dumping it on Telegram after this. So we want to encourage you guys to join the Telegram channel. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be beautiful. So we want to drive a lot of conversation along the Telegram channel. We're getting bigger every day, like over 50, 30 people are actually joining us. So I believe, it will be very, very beautiful. So people who join the Telegram will be able to see, a few things that we shared before and lots of advantages. So we want you guys to encourage you guys to, join the Telegram channel and give a depth of this. The other thing I would just like also to encourage us to invite some other people who have known about the 10x motion graph, Mograph marathon, come and be a part of this. So anyway, let me start like this. With the Mograph marathon, the reason I started Mograph in the first place is Mograph is due to a combination of motion and then graphics. So that's why on the flyers and everything, the communication you guys have been seeing, we've been having Photoshop and After Effects. Now, Photoshop is not necessarily the best dynamic link with After Effects. It's literally going to be more of Illustrator. So graphics, it's quite generic, though we're going to start with Photoshop because there's some people who are just going to be doing Photoshop only. Now, as somebody was speaking, I saw somebody commenting down below that, these guys are literally into design. How about us who are literally developers and all kind of stuff? Now, let me share with you one thing. We are literally broadening, or we are broader. It's just because the marathon itself is focusing on those two softwares. But the most important thing is the output. For example, there's something I've been sharing with the lady from Kenya. She's called Arinda. We're going to have some sort of a challenges whereby we shall be designing UI UX. So I believe that we have people here who do UI UX design, in line with website developing or something like that. So there could be some developers here in frame or something like that. So like any kind of field, So if you're a developer, please, this is for you to share with us. To do with developing and all kind of stuff. So any kind of skill set within the creative community is very, very welcome. Chris also talked about, photography and everything. Like, it's very, very welcome. So just be a part of this. Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of comment on that kind of comment that this came up. Yeah, so I'm going to share my screen with my laptop here to take us through everything that's going to be happening. So I just love it to be quite as interactive as possible. And yeah, so the other thing, besides you joining the Telegram, we encouraged that during the entire course, two main things that you need. The rest of the things we shall be, provided and all kind of stuff. Two main things that you need. One is the laptop. So you guys need to have probably a laptop or a desktop, whatever kind of machine that you're using, please. You only have to have a laptop and then probably data internet connection, the one you're using for the call apparently. Yeah, I think those are the two things that you need. The rest of the things shall be provided on the Telegram channel or the WhatsApp chat and all kind of stuff. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me present something. It's going to take us through the entire course overview. Today, we might not explore as much because I want us to know everything, like all the information that we need to know about the entire month. So that's the essence of that orientation. So let me share my screen right here with my laptop very, very fast. So I'm going to take us through a certain PDF. Yeah, let me open the thing here very, very fast. And yeah, it's going to be so beautiful. So I'm going to share a screen a bit and take us through the entire thing, like the program, so that you know before what you need to do and some of the things that are usually expected of us. Yeah, so it's going to be a sort of speedy learning. It's going to involve us, having a lot of exercises and a few things that we have to do here and there. So I'm sharing my screen in a few. So you guys will alert me if you can see the link. Thank you very much. So let me share a screen with you. I just want to take us through the PDF. Okay. So I think let me just all right. So hope you guys can see my screen. I'm using some here, but I think we can listen a bit. So Mograph.
Simon, can you mute your mic?
I have some. I think somebody's mic is unmute. Please, can somebody actually mute their laptop? I think some other person has just joined us, and yeah, thank you very much. I was having some sort of reverb. So I hope you guys can see the screen. So I'm just going to be presenting to us what we're going to be doing, so that some of you guys can, go and have some sort of practice in line with this. The design is going to be made for beginners, plus also the motion graphics. So the motion graphics are going to be receiving lessons tomorrow. I want to discover the interface and everything that we're going to need. One thing that we want to make sure that happens is that we want to make sure that by the end of the 2 weeks, you already know all the basics and literally everything that you need to know, so that whenever we keep on sharing, because there's quite a lot that's going to be happening, but the Mograph Marathon is going to equip you a lot with a lot of things that that are going to help you to become good at this, whether it is design or After Effects. Now, most of us are literally here for the After Effects, but we're going to share a few things in line with the design. So anyway, so it's going to be project-based. We're going to have a few exercises that we're going to be doing at the end of the class. So when we finish up the class, we're going to do a few exercises as I'm going to be presenting to us, and it also be shared in the community on the WhatsApp Telegram. So, and we shall also be sharing the tutorial references per lesson, right? So whatever lesson we finish, we shall be sharing a few tutorials for us to exercise and do. And then we should also have, where necessary, some sort of design challenge. But for now, I think we might not need it, since some of us, be learning and all kind of stuff. So yeah, we should have tutorials. Okay, the design challenge is going to be like some sort of an exercise. Yeah, I think literally that's the name. It's going to be an exercise that we're going to do after doing the tutorials. So you do the tutorials and then do some sort of an exercise. So starting tomorrow, we're going to do, you're going to watch a tutorial just after, doing the class. You watch a tutorial and then you do some sort of a design challenge that we shall put for you. At the end of the day, present it, and a few people will be guiding us through here and there after you guys have done exercises, both in design and After Effects, both in design and motion. Yeah. So that's literally it. It's going to run from the 14th to the 25th. I think we shall have some sort of a bonus day that is literally 26th. Yeah. So the course outline was shared in the group. It's literally, we're going to start with orientations, which we are doing right now. Orientations, I hope you guys can literally see it. Let me just have it expanded a bit. Yeah, we're going to start with the orientations, the introduction to Photoshop. We shall learn about the Photoshop basics, in the first class, which is tomorrow. So that will be actually class 2. And then we shall learn to do with the Photoshop tools, the tools that we shall be learning and everything, like Photoshop tools, and also After Effects. Now, whatever thing that we speak about here, it also literally apply in the motion. So we shall learn about Photoshop basics and After Effects and the motion graphic basics in After Effects. The tools in After Effects and the tools in Photoshop, right? So we shall learn about adjustment layers in Photoshop, that is part of the design and that kind of stuff, curves, selection tools, masking in Photoshop, the brush tools, how to master the pen tool and all that kind of stuff. We shall learn about typography, color theory, color correction, and color grading. We shall learn about graphic design principles. Now, by the time we are learning about graphic design principles, we shall also be learning about animation principles. And we shall share a few tutorials and everything that you need to know. So I think also the slate for After Effects will also be presented to you, before the class and that kind of stuff, so that you may know. In fact, by tomorrow morning, the slate just like this for After Effects will be presented to you, so that you know what you've been learning, and at the end of the 2 weeks, you know what you'll be able to to accomplish. Yeah, so that's very, very important. So. And then we're already having orientations in design. So what we're doing, orientations in design. I think that we shall have it as class 1, which we're already having. I think it's going to be part of this entire stuff after me presenting this to you and that kind of stuff. So yeah, so this is the orientation that we're having. That is literally our class 1. And class 2, this is just for me and for Photoshop, but we also have another version of After Effects. We shall learn about the Photoshop basics. We shall familiarize ourselves with the interface, the tools, the workspace, and everything that you need to know about Photoshop itself in the place of design and After Effects itself, right? So we shall learn also about the Photoshop. In fact, we shall have a reference tutorial apparently. I think you guys can go. There's some other gentleman called Pixing Perfect. I think we shall have more references than this. So apparently the reference on YouTube done by the Adobe Creative Cloud YouTube channel. So it's called the Photoshop CC 2021 Basics, for beginners and everything. So you guys shall be able to reference from this. And then you shall do your custom exercises. I don't know how this can be presented. Like you guys explore, Photoshop and, doing the banners and everything. So this is really going to be upon you. So that's what's going to be a marathon. Day 1, you're going to learn about Photoshop, the class and everything like this. And then go on YouTube. There will be more YouTube recommendations than this. Apparently, this shall be Photoshop CC 2021 for beginners. We've literally organized this to help you learn very fast and that kind of stuff for those who are learning design. And we should also be having reference tutorials for After Effects. Once we do a class in the evening, we shall have a reference tutorial for After Effects, and then also to do with the exercise that we shall be doing. So after that will be literally class 2, which we are having tomorrow. So guys, be on a call, inform everyone to be a part of this. And after that, we shall have another class in the basic editing tools, both in After Effects and Photoshop, both in motion and design. and learn about the fundamental of design and all kind of stuff. So the reference tutorials, beginners to Photoshop basic photo editing, Photoshop CC basic photo editing for beginners. So that was done by a gentleman called Freelan. That's quite hard to pronounce. Yeah. So he shall literally be taking us through that. So the exercise that we shall do, we shall give you something quite more specific. By the end of the day, you'll be able to crop and retouch a photo, doing some sort of adjusting and exposure and colors and that kind of stuff. So that's literally to do with the basics of editing. After you watching the tutorial from this, you'll be able to do this kind of exercise from that. We shall also, where possible, present with you the project files that you need. So on that very day, we shall also learn a bit of text and typography in design. Yeah. Okay. So on class 4, we shall have Photoshop tools overview, all the tools and all kind of stuff, understanding the functionalities and everything, So, and then the YouTube reference channel is there. That's literally understanding Photoshop tools from Adobe Creative Cloud. Yeah. Okay. Class 5. I think the second thing would be on that video would be mastering the brush tool and the master. Mastering the brush tool and the mastering the pen tool. So that will be literally also part of class 4. Then on class 5, we shall understand to do with adjustment layers and other kind of stuff. It will be a part of it. I think there's some other thing I have to be presenting. Okay, let me just finish up with this. There's some other thing I have to be presenting. I think it's within the class themselves to do with all the days, but I think I will have it shared with us. Okay, let me just have it shared in a few. I'm thinking this document is not literally showing some of the things that I need to have us see. Okay. So I'm going to share some other screen. Okay, I'm going to share some other screen. No, I think let's just continue with this. Anyway, yeah, that's it. I think there's just a few things that I missed out. Yeah, so all the classes, everything is presented here. We shall learn about the curves and the selection tools, the typography, the color theory, color correction. Yeah, design principles, color grading and everything. And also mastering pen bond at the end of the day. So to do with that, I think that should be literally our class thing. Mastering pen modes. And Pixie Perfect has a very wonderful tutorial that we shall reference at the end of the day, to do with that. So all these things shall be shared with us. I don't want to take a lot of time through them. All these things shall be shared with us. So the general mind that we need to know is that we shall learn about a topic. There should be a description of it, like what we're going to be doing at the start of the class. And then the reference tutorial, and then the exercise that we shall be doing. So that's literally shall be it. That's literally it. How things going to be moving from tomorrow. A lot of things are going to be shared with us, and it's going to be literally an amazing session. So let me stop sharing the screen a bit. Yeah, so that's the entire course overview of how things are going to be moving. And also we shall, just like I said, we shall share something to do with motion graphics. That's going to be very, very important. And I'm still clustering a few things that we're going to be, learning. Yeah, by tomorrow, the entire course overview of how motion is going to be shall be shared. That will be very, very important. Yeah, so that's really it from how the marathon is going to go. So one other thing I would love to encourage us is that we would love you to actually have some sort of time to devote into this. A lot of things are going to be learned, right? But we just encourage you to devote time to this, do the exercises. And once you finish up with the exercise, you're going to be able to share it within that group, and then different people shall be able to comment, and the moderators and any other person shall be able to comment on the class on the exercises that you've done, right? So the tutorial shall be provided to you with the reference exercise and the project files. and then you do the class, you do the exercise within the day, and then literally present it so that people can comment on it or something of that sort. And then in the evening, you shall do some other class. So we shall be having classes from the 14th to the 25th. For those who have not seen probably the dates of the classes, I think I have something to do with the dates of the classes here. Now, for those who haven't yet seen anything to do with that, the dates of the classes, we shall be doing from Monday. I think let me have it presented here because it's very, very important for you to know and prepare for it. So let me just share something to do with it apparently. So we shall be doing from Monday to the only day we shall be missing out and literally do are 2. That's literally Thursday and Sunday. But for the rest of the days from Monday to Friday, and then Saturday, and then literally, I think Sunday should be for us to rest and all kind of stuff. And also Thursday, we shall not be having a class on that particular day. So let me just share with us something to do with that. Okay, let me just present us the dates and all kind of stuff so that we can deal with that also. All right, I think let me put it here. So I hope you guys can see the screen. Yeah, so these are the dates. I think we also shared this, the course outline and dates. Tuesday 14th, Wednesday 15th, Friday 17th, and then the 18th of Saturday, Monday, Tuesday on the 21st, Wednesday on the 22nd, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then we shall literally be done with this. So this is going to be quite very fast, but we're going to be having progressive interactions. This is just for, to have us be on some sort of a clean slate, whereby if you never knew anything to do with motion or graphic design, you'd be able to do something about it or something of that sort. And if you never knew anything to do with Photoshop, you'd be able to, design all kind of stuff. So there are a lot of things that we're going to share in line with Photoshop or in line with design for motion, that I don't know whether some of the tutorials are there. I learned them through a course or something that I did. Specifically, it was teaching design for motion, right? So we shall be learning a lot of those things. And I don't believe they are up on the tutorial or something like that, but they'll be kind of neat to us, and that will be very, very important. That will be very, very beautiful. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen. I'm going to turn to my other desktop. There are a few things that we'd like to share with us. They're not on this particular laptop. So I'm going to turn to my desktop and show us, for those who have not yet downloaded the softwares, like how you guys are going to download them and install them. So I'm going to share some other screen behind me there. And I shall also take us through some of the basics in design, a few things that we have to learn. I shared them sometime back on the Video Storyteller channel, so I'm going to go through them in a bit. And they'll give us a general overview of design generically. And so those are some of the things that we shall start with tomorrow. I think tomorrow we shall not start with them. Those are some of the things we shall speak about tomorrow, right? And that will be very, very beautiful. So I'm going to turn to my desktop in a bit. I think I don't need. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing that. I'm going to stop removing the camera and share some other screen right here. Okay. So I'm going to share some other screen apparently to take us through just a few things. I would have loved to share them with us probably tomorrow, but I think let's get through them, and that would be very important. Yeah, so I think by 9 or in the next few minutes, we shall be getting done with the orientations and just prepare for tomorrow. So firstly, I'm going to share with us how to download and install those softwares. Yeah. So let me share the screen very fast right here. Okay. All right. So let me share the entire screen probably. Let me just stop sharing right here. Okay. So I'm going to go right to the Telegram channel and just show us how we're going to install those softwares, because some people literally commented that they had some sort of a challenge with them, installing them, or that kind of stuff. So I'm going to just guide us through that, and that would be very, very beautiful. So I'm sharing my screen right now. I just want to share that particular window, but let me just share the entire screen anyway. So, all right, hope you guys can see my screen. Let me go to that particular Telegram channel. Beautiful. Oh, good. Okay. Anyway, so for people who haven't yet joined the Telegram channel, this is where we're going to be presenting a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff are going to be happening. Don't mind the stuff literally that are here. A lot of stuff are going to be happening. So we already provided you guys with a software that you guys will be downloading. Now, these are literally zips. Now, what you have to do is, to download the zip files. That is the Photoshop, the 10x Photoshop. We shall be using this particular version, but if you guys want higher version, sometimes I do use them or something, but these are very compatible. The reason I saw we chose 2019 is because it's very compatible with most of the pieces. If you guys saw or will see, I used a lot of Photoshop 2019. Sometimes I can use 2024, but I rarely do so. So it's because it's a very, very fast, it's very stable, and some other reasons, right? So this version will be available for those who can use Photoshop 2024, that kind of stuff. So I think the links will be shared. If you guys can download and use that, that would be very, very beautiful. So 10x Photoshop is here. So all you have to do is to download the zip files. So they're literally 3, and this is literally the first one. And then there's another second one right here, the 800 MBs, both. Then also the last one, which is 279.7 MBs, right? And then for After Effects, you download this particular one, 10x After Effects, and then 10x After Effects. The second one, they're also kind of 3. So they're literally separated all zip because Telegram does not accept uploading something beyond 2 GB or something. That's why we had to, zip them and share them just like that. So you're going to download this. And I think I'm going to upload another tool. It's called WinRAR. If you guys don't have it, just in case you guys don't have it, there's a tool called WinRAR, which can enable you. I think it's an open source kind of tool. So you guys can literally explore it. It's called WinRAR. I think I'll share it within the group, but let me just show it to you guys. WinRAR. Yeah, this particular one. No, I don't think it's the open source. I will share with us probably the software in there. Yeah, so that's literally it for the softwares that we how you guys will download the softwares. So once you download them, all you have to do is to use that tool to unzip. This is the zip file. As long as you have all these other, because there are 2 versions. There's this Z02 or Z01. You have to unzip this particular one, and all the rest will actually be unzipped. So once you open the UNRWA, just unzip this and install, right? I don't know, I think let me get my hard drive and try doing that. I think I'm going to do that at last as I share some other things from to do with design. So yeah, that's literally it for now. Let me first stop sharing that particular screen and then prepare to take us through something else to do with design. Yeah, so apparently I'm going to share with us some other screen. I think it's going to be the last session for today, taking us through a few things to do with design, basically, that I shared some time back, and I always love starting with them because it's very, very important. So let me open them very fast. I think in a minute, I'll be sharing the screen again, taking us through this. I would just love to share them with us because you guys can, go back and, go through them, all kind of stuff. So they'll be part of the things that we should explore, Yeah. Now, in the meantime, I would just love to encourage us to, through the entire Mograph, everything, just in case, somebody misses out something, please feel free to, share your knowledge with them or something that sort. Or even me, I may use some sort of a style or something that could be, a longer process or something, and you have an easier one, please just feel free to share your knowledge. We are willing to learn, just like the members shared with us. Yeah. So That's literally it. Let me take us through some other posts. I'm just getting it here very, very fast. It's very, very beautiful, amazing, and fundamental. I shared it sometime back on the Visual Storytellers platform, right? So I'm going to just take us through those slides, and yeah, we shall call it the end of the orientations. All right, I think I'm literally approaching them. I've approached them. I'm just praying that they'll be very, very visible to us. I'm also going to be adding my hard drive to so that I can access the actual files themselves. If I do, that will be very, very beautiful. So anyway, let me share my screen again. Thank you for being patient with me. Hallelujah. Thank you guys for being patient with me. So let me share my entire screen again. I'm sharing it right now. Okay. I'd love to share just this specific window, but let me share the entire screen. All right. Hope you guys can see the screen. It's coming up. Beautiful. So there's something I shared some time back. I know that it's actually visible. I'm trying to see it with my phone here. I just believe, I'm just praying that it's kind of visible. If it's not visible, you can just zoom in using your hands if you're holding a mobile phone, which I believe most of us are. Yeah, so this was some of the stuff that were learned as doing a course that I told you guys about. It was taught by a gentleman called Jake in Motion. It was done by a certain school. I hope you guys, if you learned something to do with motion design, it was done by a certain school. It's called School of Motion. The gentleman is called Joe Coleman. In fact, we had some sort of conversation. I had the privilege of having some sort of conversation with him back then. I think when the Israel-Hamas war had just started. He's a very, very wonderful gentleman. And yeah, so the first thing that was learned, or that was very, very important, was, getting the concept of design. Now, this is actually very, very important. I'm going to have myself going through them like very fast. Now, the main thing, these are just quotes from different people, but the main thing to do with it is literally understanding the concept of design itself, right? The design is literally shared. I love this. This is literally the most fundamental explanation of design I've literally found in all the books. In fact, during the entire sessions and everything, I'll be sharing with us books to do with logo design, books to do with identity design. We shall share different identities. I have a lot of identities in my PC, like over 100 identities that we shall be exploring. There's quite a lot we shall be sharing. Anyway, design, if you guys can check out the gentleman called Jake in Motion, he literally took through people this. Anyway, design is explained as the discipline of study and practice focused on the interaction between a person, that is a user, and the man-made environment. Now, if somebody has done UI design, UI stands for user interface, and UX stands for user experience. So interface, how the stuff literally appears, the pixels appear, the way the stuff are literally organized, and then the user interface. So literally design generically cannot exist on its own without having a user and then the environment, or which literally here is defined as the man-made environment. Now, another important thing is this is defined as, it continues to say that taking into account the aesthetics, functional, contextual, and cultural and societal considerations. How does the society consider that very kind of color? I have referenced that, for example, we shall be having some sort of a talk to do with color theory. In China itself, color, red is literally perceived as a color for celebration. Normally people use it. If you've seen a Chinese sort of celebration and everything, the design is always in red. Unlike other parts of the world where it's to do with death, for example, the war between Israel and the Hamas, everything to do with blood and communicating anything to do with death, they've been using red, and that's quite generic all over the place. So considering the aesthetics, functional, contextual, and that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's how they define it. But here's the more important thing: design literally part of our DNA, and that's one of the things that I'm sharing within the course and everything. That's quite not very, very important. What makes design to be design? This is very, very beautiful for us to understand. Design is about the relationship between things. When objects are literally put together, they can define one another to create a visual message. Now, this we're going to explore it through the coming design and everything. So I think this is literally one of the back statements right here. In fact, the part of this entire thing, it design having to do with the interaction between a man or user and the man-made environment. So here it's defined as a relationship between objects that are put together, for them to come together and define one another. There's a time when I was reading a certain book, and this same lady, I think she works with Pentagram, one of the leading design agencies in the world. In fact, it's not the leading, So she literally explained and shared something which was very fundamental. She was like, we creatives must always observe design as not design, not graphics itself, like the environment, the things designed, the car, the bottles, the laptops, everything as literally shapes that are literally put together, to define something, visually. And that was very, very important. I think I'll share that code later on. Anyway, let's proceed with the slides. I think we shall explore, in line with this, what makes a good design. In fact, we shall not just explore, I will show us a few things here and there from designs that other people have literally done, all kind of stuff. What makes a good design? It has to do with creating meaningful visual relationship between things and emphasizing the focal point. And I believe this is one of the most important things I've ever learned in design. Emphasizing a focal point and creating a meaningful, visual relationship between things. Now, I don't have much words to, explain these, but I would take us through along the course and kind of stuff. I'll take us through different artworks and, try to emphasize and show us what the focal point is in different kind of design and how people have, established them and how you can know that actually my design is good to go and that kind of stuff. So it's very, very, very important. So we shall keep on referencing to that in time to come. So another thing that was shared, let me start with this particular slide. Remember, we shared in the first slide, or even in this other slide, what makes a design, what makes a good design. That it's about creating a meaningful visual relationship between things. Remember, I shared with you what the lady from Pentagram shared, that we ought to perceive things and literally objects that literally put together to define some sort of an image. For example, if we see those kind of shapes, ovals, all in design, ovals or circles are normally called ellipses. Ellipses are put together and a few triangles and rectangles to make a bicycle. We even perceive it as a bicycle because we already have a defined mental image from the man-made environment to define those shapes as a bicycle and that kind of stuff. So anyway, this is what these visuals are literally explaining. For example, if you guys, just observe these as straight shapes or triangles and rectangles and squares that are literally put together to define what we perceive as a bottle, right? This is literally a negative, okay, the rest is the negative space, but so just a shape in white. I think it would have been better presented as, those ovals, put together. But just like I shared with us, these are literally ovals and rectangles that are literally put together. It's better that we define it as that, right? So apparently we're seeing ellipses or circles and the shape, and we can have an interpretation of, bubbles coming out of, the bottle because of how they are literally presented. Now, if we go into some other slide, just like this one, we are having the same circles, but just because right now we've made the circles bigger and the bottle is smaller, right now we have another visual interpretation of the same elements, a different visual interpretation of the same elements. So right now we can tell another story. You can be like, I think actually the bottle is, sinking within an ocean, right? Because, the circles are a bit smaller, or the ellipses are, are bigger, and then the bottle is a bit smaller. So that's literally the essence of what we defined here, that the meaningful visual relationship between things. The relationship between the circles and the circle and the shapes and the bottle here is very, very different from the relationship between these other bigger circles. We can define it as an ocean. We can define it as some other thing, probably, right? If we go to the next slide, you discover that it's still the same circles or something, but we've added some sort of a copy to it. Enjoy a cold Coke, right? So because we've added some sort of a copy to it, we are literally perceiving probably, a cold bottle, that's literally full of ice, a cold bottle, something that sort, and bubbles, or, that kind of, cold kind of, loss or smoke literally coming out of it, because of its coldness and all kind of stuff. So with the word now added to it, we are literally having another mental perception of the same shapes and ellipses of the same shapes coming together. So it's about the visual relationship between elements, to define something, and also probably the focal point, that's being established. Now, when you look at this entire kind of, visual, the focal point is apparently the bottle itself, right? So yeah. I think this was very, very, very important for us to, to learn and know about. I think we shall explore more other stuff in line with this. Let me just end the screen sharing, apparently. I think we shall explore in line with this in time to come, starting probably tomorrow in line with design or something, that sort as we explore the screens and all kind of stuff. That would be very, very important. So, those I learned them. I think I've not found some sort of YouTube courses or something that they teach that. Now, those are slides. I did them after probably going through that kind of course that was teaching design specifically for motion. And there are lots of other things that I've not shared. I think that I'll be tackling within these other courses that are coming up. Just like I said, these were new to me. I've never found them on the tutorial. They came through this particular course, and I believe some of those things will be new to us, and they'll be actually very, very important for us all. Now, I'd love to also again acknowledge, as a little finish up with this, I think it's tomorrow when we shall be talking about more of, After Effects and the motion and everything, the keyframes. We shall be as engaging as possible, So let me get back to video in a bit. Show my video in a bit, and then conclude this entire class. I think I will hand the microphone over to the other moderator. Yeah. So thank you very much, guys. So I believe tomorrow we have quite a lot. Now that's just another aspect of design itself, but we should also have to go through the tools and all kind of stuff, and also the motion graphics. But besides this, besides the Mograph marathon that we're going to be having, even within that day, there will be quite a lot of things that we should be keep on sharing with ourselves, and that will be very, very important. We shall keep on sharing with ourselves because it's about like learning first and doing better kind of work, and animations and design kind of stuff. So we shall be going through that part which has to do with the design for motion. How to perceive, how to create. In fact, in that kind of class, we also learn how to create some sort of, we call them, they're literally perceived as sketches, but normally they have a name. It's visual style frames. How to create like style frames for your motion or something. So in that kind of course, you can see how to create them in Photoshop itself, but normally it's normally done in Illustrator. So I think we should be exploring Illustrator to do with, creating style frames, that kind of stuff. Everything to do with design for motion and, just basically learning about design. So that's literally was it for today. It's 5 minutes past 9. I don't want us to reach, 9:30. That would be different for the next class. Thank you guys for, being a part of this. It's very, very beautiful. I can't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow we shall be about learning and, sharing tutorials and all that kind of stuff. So it has been an amazing session. Thank you guys for your prayers. It has been a success. And trust me, this is literally now done online because we can't just wait until we meet physically. Yeah. So if you guys are not yet recognized, I'm wearing a shirt that has this Discover Your Tribe. Thank you guys for discovering your tribe. the motion, the motion trade, 10x motion trade. I want to learn a lot from you guys. I believe you guys are inexperienced in different kind of things. There'll be that place whereby I think next week, as you're doing these courses or something, I just want to start doing UI challenges, with different people who do UI UX design. I want to learn people, I'm learning framework. So I want to learn with you guys framework and all kind of stuff like this. What that I'll be learning from you guys. And I believe one day one of you guys will be, doing something like this and then sharing with us what you know and teaching us and taking through us something that, have some sort of an experience with. Yeah, so that's it from me. Thank you guys for, being a part of this. That was the orientation of how everything's going to run. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. So let me have the mic handed over to Chris to have this session closed as we wait for tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you guys for being here. I want to emphasize more about us engaging more in whatever we're going to bring on the table, whatever we're going to bring up. I want you guys to be part of it. And I want you to understand that we are a family. We are not competing. We are not fighting anyone. We're a family. We are fighting for one dream, and which is going to be possible. And if we unite, Neturwana, and we fight together, things are going to be possible. 10x, we are online. We are on TikTok. We are on Instagram, Twitter, and also on YouTube. I'm going to share the links in the group. So guys, I want you to engage in, and more content is going to be coming in. We're going to be inviting in big people that you see. We're going to be inviting in many people. Yeah, that's what I can tell you. We're going to be having big events starting next year. Yeah. And I want you to be part of this, and I want you to leave. And it's not a short-term thing. It's a long-term thing. Yeah. We are planning for this to hit places that you never thought possible. Yeah. Yes, Steve, you want to say something?
Yeah. So first we're having some hands raised from Philippa and I think it's Bias or something like that. Yeah, we're having those hands raised, so I think we can have some interaction or something. Two is that there's something which is doing coming up. It's called the Agaba Design Week, and communications should be made about it to do with it. But I think it will be a very, very, very beautiful place. I think Chris should talk about it on some days to come. Yeah, starting this 27th of November, and I think we're going to be a part of that thing. It's going to also be amazing to be an opportunity for us to work and network, with the entire team of Agaba Design Week. And it has been, I think it has just reached after like 3 years. So anyway, that will be for another conversation for another day. There will be another conversation for another day. Let's hear from what Philip and Pass have to say before we have this close up. So Philippa, can you share with us what?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for whoever's made sure that this event happens. I wanted to just have, before we leave, if you can have share your screen and have just a breakdown on how we can download the software. Just that.
Oh, yeah, sure. Pass, do you have something to say something, please? I know that there are some other hands that kind of missed something.
Yes, good evening, everyone. I hope you guys are good. Thanks to our moderators, Steve and Christopher. Same question as Philip asked. I wanted you guys to pass us through how we can download the software, because I know tomorrow we are going to do hands-on, as you just said. Previously, we were talking to us. But then me and some others might not have the software as ready on the laptop now. So like you guys to pass us through how we can get them. I read somewhere where you wrote that we need to go to Telegram and see the links to that software. Some of us are not on Telegram as well, so you could just help us.
Okay. Concerning that Pius, here's something we're going to do. I'm going to share some other link from some other site where you can also download the software, because this can be a bit hard for some people to download those zip files and that kind of stuff. So we're going to share some other link after the call to some other site where you can also still download the software and then choose any version that you want. I think that will actually be preferable for you guys. So I'm going to share the link to the site where you guys can actually download the softwares, Photoshop, Illustrator. And I know that I may have the time to do a certain kind of tutorial or something. I think I'll kind of record it and probably share it within the Telegram group. But you don't need actually to download those ones from there. We're going to also provide another link from some other website where you can download any version that's compatible with your PC. If you have probably a Duo 2, a Quad Duo 2, the PC which is literally Duo Quad Duo 2 and probably below something. I don't know there's anything below Duo 2, right? So you can probably get something like Photoshop 2019. You don't want to go for the 24 for the 2024 version or 25.2 or something that's apparently on. You can go for the 2019 and or 2020 or 2021, 2023, any of them. So we shall share the link for that and also probably make some sort of a screen sharing. If I can do that in the next 5 minutes, I think in the next 3 minutes I can also share the screen on how to install, on how to unzip. If I tell you you've already downloaded those from Telegram, on how to unzip them, and then we should also share that WinRAR software that you actually need. So I'm going to do some sort of screen sharing, the last screen sharing, and then we shall have the class closed for those questions. Yes. So I think I'm going to share the screen again, the other side, and then do that. Some of the persons having their hand raised, I think that's the essence of the orientations. We can hear from you and then know what you want to say. So some other person, I think she's called Mildred or something. She's having the hand raised or something. So please.
Hello everyone. Thank you so much for the session. I've heard you just said that we should make sure we get 2019 Photoshop, but I have 2024, and I have Adobe Creative Cloud, so all of them are up to date. I'm not sure how to get earlier versions because I'm using a MacBook or something. I think it's easier for Windows to get earlier versions. So can't 2024 versions work for me?
Actually, that's a very beautiful. If you actually have the 2024 one, we just encourage the other version for those who are using probably lower versions of Windows. But if you have literally the current one, that's actually very, very best. We're going to be using the same tools. We're going to be, having the same experiences with different versions. So if you have the 2024 version, that's actually very, very beautiful. I think that's absolutely fine. You don't need to literally degrade and get a lower version. We can just continue with the 2024 version. And other people, you can, in fact, if you already have the 2024 version, 2023, or something higher than 2019, it's all about what the specs of your PC can actually handle. So if the specs of your PC now, if you're having a MacBook and, the Canon 2024, I think we can actually move with that. That's very important. We just encourage if your version of your kind of machine can handle, something like 2024, please move with that. We shall be having the same experience all through. Yeah. So I think that's
right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Drink. I know the name is not complete. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm just going to show. I think we shall share something. I think I'll just do a screen recording later on and then share in the Telegram group for those who may want to know who downloaded those versions. But I think we're also going to share some other link where you can get the software. It's yeah. Yeah, other than that, thank you very, very much for, being part of the class. Thank you for following through. Thank you for, abiding. It's very, very beautiful. We are more than happy. Yeah, it has been a very, very amazing experience. Tomorrow we're going to be learning quite a lot. We're going to be learning quite a lot. And today we've just been having orientations, going through whatever we're going to be going through. So the things to expect as I finish is that we're going to become very competent designers. We're going to, learn from each other. We're going to, do a lot, share different job opportunities and a lot of, different amazing things. So at the end of the 2 weeks, at the end of the marathon, if you guys go through the exercise and do whatever you ought to do, I believe you'll be in a very, very competent, beautiful space so that when you continue, with having, physical meetings and everything, you can be district at par with everyone. Yeah, so thank you very much for, guys being a part of the class. For those who are, we're going to have each and every issue handled to do a surprise just after the class. Yeah, with that, I think we're going to close the orientation class and we shall meet